back to Blushing Shades. This is part 2 of my Best in Beauty for 2014, and it's going to be all about the face. I'm only sticking with high-end because I am going to do a separate video on my favorite products for drugstore, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, this is going to be all about the face, and I'm just going to get right into it, guys, because it's going to be a very long video, so grab yourself a coffee or a glass of wine, whatever is in front of you, and just sit back and relax and enjoy the video. Okay, so before I do anything to my skin and get it ready for makeup, I always use a moisturizer. This is hands down my favorite moisturizer I've ever used. If you guys are new to my channel, I do have oily skin to combination skin, so this stuff is just great. It's like a gel form. It looks white, but it's very jelly. It's not too creamy, so it blends into the skin really nicely. This is the Alba Botanical Hawaiian Oil-Free Moisturizer with aloe and green tea. It's got no paraffins or animal testing, so it's just an overall really great product. I really enjoyed this for the year. I'm gonna just go through this really quickly, guys, and if you guys have any other questions or if you want to hear my thoughts on certain products, then just let me know in the comments down below. Now for primer, the Hourglass Veil. I just really love this primer. It's very lightweight. It's good for my oily or dry skin for the winter time, because I do get a little bit more dry in the winter time, but it still works for me all year round. A little bit goes a long way. This is just a little bitty size, and I normally just go for the little size instead of the big size because it is quite expensive, but loved the Hourglass. Yeah, great for oily skin. This is the Benefit Porefessional. I just basically use this to fill in my pores. I did find something that is slightly a hair better than the Benefit Porefessional, but I did not include it in this video because this was the standout for 2014, but it did a really great job of just filling in my pores. Now, through the winter time, like I said, I get a little bit dry, so I loved using the MAC Strobe Cream, so I had to include this. It didn't make me more oily than I am. Like, even in the summertime I can get away with using this, but I don't know, I just really like the finish that it gave after applying my foundation, especially through the winter time. It still gave me a really nice glow, but not looking too shiny. So loved this stuff. Moving on to foundation. I've tried so many foundations, and to be honest with you, I don't have one that, like, I have my standout for the year, but I don't have like my holy grail yet. So for now, this is what I'm sticking with. These are the two that I'm going to talk about. The first one is this Chanel Velvet Lumiere Perfecting Lumiere Velvet Foundation. I'm mentioning this because I use this almost all year round. I'm not using it right now only because the shade is not my color right now at the moment, but this is a great foundation. I really liked it because it was very lightweight. I can use it every single day. I love the packaging. I love how small it is and compact, very easy to travel with, and it just made my skin look really flawless. It gave a really nice matte finish, but not too matte where you're like, oh, you need to add some glow to your skin. It didn't do that. It was just a really pretty finish, so I really loved the Velvet Foundation. And of course I have to give it to my Estee Lauder Double Wear. This stuff is amazing, you guys. It covers up anything that you want to cover up on your skin. It lasts all day. It does not move. It does not budge. This thing is not coming off until you take your makeup off at night. Loved it. Great foundation. It is full coverage, so I didn't wear this every single day, but just a beautiful overall foundation that was a standout for me. When it comes to concealer, I have to give it to MAC. It's the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, which won't be a surprise for most people. I'm in the color NC20. It just did a really good job of covering up dark circles, and it didn't crease under my eyes at all. And I use it to even brighten and like highlight around my face. So beautiful product. You can even use this as a foundation if you like. You can mix it like as a BB cream, add a couple pumps into your cream, your face cream, and there you have it. You have yourself a BB cream. So great product. And of course the MAC Prep and Prime in Light Boost. Oh, I keep going back to this. This is my fourth tube of it already, so love it. Can't recommend it enough. Yeah. I really like the color. It did a really great job of highlighting. It blends so nicely, so very little goes a long way. You do not need much of the stuff. I will have to say it doesn't last as long as I would like it to, but that's okay. It's a great product. I will continue repurchasing that. Let's talk about some setting powders. To set under my eyes, my holy grail #1 product is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. This is the second purchase of this for me, but it lasts so long. You do not need much of the stuff. It's very, very finely milled. It definitely brightens, and I like it because it doesn't look cakey under my eyes whatsoever. So loved it. The only thing, I wish it came in a pressed version because I think I wouldn't mind trying that out, but I love it. I just keep going back to it, so had to mention that. Now, to set my foundation, I have to mention the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish because I'm trying to use this thing up and I literally still have it. It's been seriously over a year. But I mean, the dome is completely gone, but I really liked it. It gave me a nice, a really pretty finish. Nothing, I don't know, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it in my opinion. It just really helped kind of brighten my skin a little bit too, without making it look dull, if you know what I mean. And I have to mention the Makeup Forever HD. This is the loose powder. This just really blurs your imperfections, your pores, everything, and it's translucent. It doesn't have color to it, so in the summertime I use this guy a lot, and again, because it's powder form, it's gonna last a very long time. I really like the packaging of this because it has a net in there, so it's not as messy as the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, but overall this is a great finishing powder. It just made my skin look very, very flawless, so loved that. Bronzing powders, contouring powders. I have 3 that I want to share with you. The first one is the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. This is just another kind of holy grail product for me. It's something that just worked for me all year round. I use the brush that it comes with. It kind of reminds me of the Ita brush. It just does a really good job of contouring in the hollows of the cheeks. But I really liked the color because I could wear it all year round, because it's not too ashy, it's not too warm, but it's not too gray. Like it's just that perfect bronzing shade that is just very universal to me. So really love the Hoola bronzer. I like the smell of Benefit blushes too. Yeah, so they're really, really nice. And the Bobbi Brown Golden Light 01. I love it. It's the perfect color to contour, to warm up the face. It's, again, very universal for both that. And it's just very, very finely milled, very easy to blend, and it's so stinking soft. So very, very soft. It's just a beautiful color. Again, this was a bronzer that worked for me all year round, so I had to include both of these for my favorites for 2014. And I want to talk about this Smashbox contouring palette. I know everybody loves the Anastasia palette, the contouring palette, which I do own and I do like. I also own the It Cosmetics contouring palette, which I like as well, but I used this guy the most. And I think because there's only 3 colors that you can actually use, where the other ones have, what, 6 shades in there, so this was just a very easy thing for me to kind of grab and, you know, just kind of all in one. And I used all of them, especially this color right here. It's kind of a mix between like a lighter and like a yellow tone powder. So it was very nice to set underneath the eyes. It's got a little bit more coverage than the Secret Brightening Powder, so if I needed that little extra, this was good for that. This I used to warm up the face, and I loved using this to contour. To me, it's the perfect contouring shade, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about this palette, and to me, I think it's a very nice palette. It's very compact, easy to carry with you, and I don't know, I really like this. I know that Smashbox is coming out with the contouring sticks, which I've heard really great things about, and this would go perfect with that. And I've been into like cream contouring lately, and I haven't found the product that I love. I did try the one by Becca. It's not working out for me right now. So anyways, that's for a different video. So I had to mention that because I don't hear anybody talk about it. So okay. Oh, the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. Love this thing. And at first, I'm going to be honest with you, I was not in love with it. I didn't see a difference in my skin. I didn't notice basically anything to it, but it works if you know how to use it. So yeah, this is it right here. Purchased it last year. I got a really good use out of dim light. In this color, I actually used a lot to even set underneath my eyes. This shade I didn't use a whole lot, but then my friend Melissa and I believe even Prissy, they like take their brush and just swirl all three colors together, and they use that to use as their finishing powder, and I actually really like it. So I have noticed a huge difference in my skin by using this, so I will forever ever love this product. Now we are moving on to blushes and highlights. So I'm gonna warn you, I do have a lot, but I really went through the whole year and went through my collection and just thought, okay, what were the ones that really stood out to me, the ones that I kept reaching for, or kind of like my must-haves. And so I did go back even towards the spring and summer because I had a lot of favorites there too, so I'm just gonna jump right in and get started. And a lot of these too they're some of my favorite brands as well for blush. So I'm gonna start off with cream blushes, and I was never the one to wear cream blushes, but I found one that I stand by. I think it's amazing, and you probably already know what it is if you've been watching my channel. It's the Makeup Forever HD Cream Blushes, the high definition blushes. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Because I have oily skin, I always stayed away from it, but I don't know what it is with this product, but you really need to try it because it is that good. This is in the color 335. It is my most used color. I just think it's very versatile. You can add any blush over top of this, even though it does look pretty dark in the pan. It's a beautiful color. These blend so nicely. They're so creamy, but they turn into like this powder finish. And yeah, you can see how nicely that just blends, right? It's gorgeous. I love it. So this is a really big hit for me for 2014, just because I was never into cream blushes. And then I have to give a shout out to the Chanel cream blushes. I've tried this before. I tried the Makeup HD blushes, and I thought this was a really great cream blush, which this is a gorgeous color. Sorry, let me just get to the color here. It's called Inspiration, and I chose this one because it's a very neutral color, you know, a neutral pink shade, which I thought, you know, that I would get a really good use out of it because I did purchase this in the summertime, but it almost has that same feel as the Makeup Forever one. So love it. If I had to choose though, it would definitely be the Makeup Forever HD cream blushes. But I loved the Chanel one in Innocence. So if you guys have oily skin, I recommend these two for sure. Sticking with Chanel blushes, I love this next one. This is called Canaille number 89, which I thought was a limited edition color, but every time I go to the counter, it's in their permanent line. And I'm really happy about that because the color is just beautiful. I don't really own a color like this in my collection, so that's what really made it stand out for me. It's just a really, I don't have to swatch it to kind of describe it to you because it's kind of like a bronzy terracotta with some gold with like a hint of pink to it. It's just a stunning color, and every time I wear this I get tons of compliments, and I'm just drawn to colors like this, especially now. So this is a blush that I'm forever going to be in love with. So love this one. Highly recommend that one. Let's talk about Tom Ford. Now, I do not own a lot of Tom Ford blushes because they do not carry Tom Ford here in Canada, so it is very difficult for me to get it, which is a good thing because I want every single color. I do own two of them, and the one that I picked is called Ravish. Now, first of all, the packaging is just gorgeous. I love the colors. I love that it's kind of gold and kind of like this like espresso deep color that almost looks black. So I really like the packaging besides all the fingerprints, but that's besides the point. This is in the color Ravish, and it almost reminds me of the Chanel blush, but it's a little bit more on the rosy kind of berry side, but still has some bronze to it. It's a gorgeous color. some people say that it might not look good on certain skin tones, but for me personally, I think this would look good on anybody, depending on how you use it, because it is very pigmented. Let me swatch it next to the Chanel blush. Okay, yeah, so it's definitely, yeah, you can see it still has that kind of bronze look to it, but it's definitely more rosy, more kind of like a hint of berry to it. Gorgeous. So I had to mention the Tom Ford blush. I wore this a lot when I first got it. I think for like a whole month or two I couldn't put this color down, so I had to include it. I have one Illamasqua blush to share with you because this was well loved in the beginning of the year and throughout the summer, and it's called Lover. These blushes are very silky, very, very soft. I think this is like the softest blush that I actually own, even softer than my Chanel and my Tom Ford blush. They're pretty silky. So that's the shade right there. It's kind of like a terracotta orangey shade, which I wore a ton for the summertime, but this looks stunning on the cheeks. If you see, Sephora used to carry Illamasqua, which I wish they didn't stop carrying it, because it's very hard for me to get Illamasqua, because I do want to own other colors in that line. But yeah, because Sephora got rid of it, I don't think they ship to Canada. If you guys know a way that I can get Illamasqua blushes, let me know in the comments down below. But I had to give a shout out to that one because it's just a beautiful, beautiful color, and the product is just amazing in my opinion. Don't get mad guys, but I have 5 more blushes to share with you. I can't help myself. I'm a blush junkie, freak, whatever you want to call me, that's what I am. But I have to mention these because they truly were my standouts for the year, and I just could not leave them out. But this is Nars Madly, and I chose this one because it's just one of those easy blushes that where you don't really know what to wear that day, you just pull this blush out, or if you were doing a really dramatic look, this blush was always coming out. It just looked good with any look that I was doing, so have to let you guys know about Madly. It doesn't look like much on the pan, but once it's on the cheeks, it is stunning, beautiful. The Hourglass Mood Exposure, again, kind of like that, the same thing as Nars Madly. It just goes with any type of look, and when this first came out, I was like obsessed, totally obsessed with this color, so I had to include it. It gives you that airbrushed look, and it's a blush that you can actually really build up the color. So there it is right there, stunning. Highly recommend Mood Exposure. Okay, another Benefit blush. This is the blush in Dallas. This is just a very universal shade. I used it for contouring, I use it as a blush, I use it as a topper. All 3 of those things. It's just a beautiful, beautiful color. Again, you guys are kind of seeing a theme here. It's kind of in the same family as like the Nars blush and Mood Exposure, but I think it was Sarah Jones that introduced me to this blush. Yeah, I think it was her. She was a really good influence on me for the year 2014. But yeah, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but again, just very, kind of almost reminds me of Mood Exposure, but a bit more bronzy, rosy to it, but loved Dallas. 2 more guys, and I'll let you go. No, we still have highlighters. We still have highlighters, but Too Faced Sweetheart in Peach Beach. Wore this a ton in the summertime, so I had to tell you guys about it. It's stunning, it's beautiful. If you guys love peachy neutral blushes, this is the color for you. There it is. It actually is very close to Dallas, but a little bit more pink. So that's probably why I loved it so much. But I didn't really have high expectations for these blushes because I'm not a fan of the packaging. Yes, it's cute, it's pretty, but it's so bulky. But the product, the color is just, I had to mention it. I keep saying that, I had to mention it, but I did. Before I end it with my blushes, this wouldn't be a favorite if I did not include this blush in here, because it truly is probably my all-time favorite blush. I truly can say that. This is the Laura Mercier blush in Spiced Cider, and I thank Prissy for this because she's the one that introduced me to it, but it is really, really pretty. It's gorgeous on the cheeks. These blushes really blew me away. They're very, very silky, very, very pigmented. I can't get over this color. I really, really can't. So there is Spiced Cider. Gorgeous, beautiful, so my color. So highly, highly recommend it. If I had to choose one blush to live with for the rest of my life, it would probably be Spiced Cider by Laura Mercier. So very happy with that product. Okay, the last thing to talk about, guys, is highlighters, and this will be over. And I do have a few. Again, this was so hard for me, so hard. You guys have no idea. But I did narrow it down. And the first one, I guess I'll talk about the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Global Glow. I was a big fan of MAC's Soft and Gentle, still am a big fan of that. It's still up there for me for highlighters, but this one just, I like it just a little bit better. I am wearing it today. It's a little bit more softer, believe it or not. It's not as glittery, it doesn't have that much glitter, sorry, as this one does. I don't know, it just looks a lot more softer on the cheeks. So loved this Global Glow. It's beautiful. Did I say I'm wearing it today? I am wearing it today. It's just very, very subtle. Okay, and then you guys are not going to be surprised because this is one highlighter that I was not able to put down at all for the last few months. Okay, this is the Becca Shimmering Pressed Perfector in Opal. So many people are talking about this. It's in everybody's yearly favorites, but it's for a very, very good reason. It's just that perfect champagne. It's got a little bit of gold to it. Just stunning. Stunning. I don't know what else to say about it, but there it is right there. Just look at that. Oh, I can't even. So I want to get Moonstone so bad. That will probably be my next purchase when I'm on my like no buy, low, no, sorry, not a no buy, low buy. Let's just correct myself there. Okay. Besides Becca Opal, you guys obviously know what I'm going to be talking about next. And it's going to be the Bobbi Brown Shimmering Bricks. I just fell really, really hard for the Shimmering Bricks this year, and I never have before, and they're just really addictive. So as soon as I had one, I had to have a lot more. I have a lot of her limited edition ones that I really love, but like I said, I'm not going to include them in this video because you can't get them, so I didn't want to share those with you. But let's talk about this one first. This is in the color Apricot, Apricot, and this was my very first, yes, believe it or not, this is my very first purchase of my shimmering brick from Bobbi Brown, and it's beautiful. I wore this a ton in the summertime. There it is right there, but it's got some gold with some, you know, kind of that apricot color in there. It went really good with like, say, MAC's Tangerine or any of like those burnt kind of orangey colors in the summertime. I loved pairing it with that. So there is Apricot. So the next two that I'm going to share with you, they're kind of almost similar, but they're different. So I couldn't leave the last one out, but before I show you the last one, this is Bobbi Brown in the color Beige, which is another one that I really, really loved this year. Almost reminds me of Opal, but not as intense because Opal is pretty intense, but you can still build this guy up if you wanted to. But just beautiful. Loved it. And one that's, like I said, is kind of similar is the Laura Mercier Highlight 01. I could not leave this one out because it really made me feel really pretty when I put it on. It's just, I don't know, it's very soft, very, very finely milled. It's not shimmery like the shimmering bricks, but it leaves a really pretty sheen, but the colors are pretty close. The Laura Mercier is just slightly lighter, and like I said, it leaves more of a sheen, not so much kind of like a shimmer to the cheeks, so loved it. And also I wanted to mention, like for Bobbi Brown too, you can even use them as eyeshadows, which I have used before and I really, really like it. And that is it, guys. I can't believe I made it through this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys made it to the end of this video. I'm curious to find out. and I will be back for part 3, which will include my lips, skincare, and my makeup brushes. I'm just going to condense all that into one, and then after that I will be doing my favorite drugstore products for 2014. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and also on Pinterest. I also still have my giveaway that's going on till the 23rd, so I will have everything linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!